Welcome to FCPS All-Stars. We have with us today Lynne Bard, Math Specialist Teacher at Heather Ridge School. Welcome, Lynne.
Thank you.
I'm very glad to have you here with us today.
Glad to be here.
Many people will look at your professional success and say that your career is a teacher. But from our conversation, you seem to view yourself otherwise. How would you describe yourself?
I describe myself as a mother, wife, avid sports player, a constant person who wants to learn, just continuous learner, professional student.
Tell me about some of your accomplishments.
Currently, I just finished up working on a special ed certification. I found the need to go back to school once one of our special ed math teachers retired. And I saw a shortage, especially at Heather Ridge. I finished up about 4 years ago my admin certification and just continuing to learn, especially now with the new technology. You just constantly have to learn, and I love learning, and I love integrating things into the classroom, because if I'm learning, the students are learning.
You shared with me your philosophy about the 3 Ps. What are the 3 Ps?
Patience, being positive, and professional.
And how do your students relate to that?
Some of them do not like it at first, because we have to build that rapport along with respect. So I try to be patient, I try to be positive, and with fellow staff members, professional, you have to model that for students.
Exactly.
Because when they see you working together as a team, they see it go on in the classroom.
Now, your atmosphere at Heather Ridge is a lot different than how you grew up at Bodine High School. Yeah. Tell me about your experience there.
It's a small school in Philadelphia. Back then I was the 3rd graduating class. We had a variety of courses. I took Spanish for 2 years, then switched over to Russian. My chemistry teacher spoke 7 languages.
Wow.
So my atmosphere was multicultural. We were all like in a melting pot, and I like that being here in Frederick. My community at home is a melting pot. So I see that hopefully my students will, my own children will see the advantages of being in that culture, a variety of cultures.
And some of the advantages you talked about actually helped you get a scholarship for college. Can you talk about that for me?
Well, just by working hard, I went to Morgan State, which is a historically black college, persevering, and plus my mother said if you work hard and get a scholarship, you get a car.
Nothing like motivation.
Yes, that motivated me. I did play volleyball there for a couple of years, so that allowed me, to set priorities. I couldn't continue with volleyball and stay in academics, so I had to make a choice, and I chose academics because that was paying the bill.
Okay. You talked about playing volleyball. I'm sure you didn't just pick that up once you got to college.
No, it was actually in Bodine. I was cut from the volleyball team. And I cried.
Oh.
I went to the coach and said, you know what, I didn't make it this year, but I want to make it next year. Can I keep playing? And I played, and the only thing I could learn how to do was serve. So my first year, I made the team because one of the girls didn't keep her grades up. So that's how I made the team, because I was cut. But that perseverance and practicing kept me going, and I learned how to serve. And then I just eventually became the captain of the team by the end of my senior year. And I play volleyball now here in Frederick. It's like one of my passions. Come January, I'm on. I'm there. City, City of Rec, women's team.
Okay.
Santos. That's our name.
Okay, that's amazing. Now tell me about your family.
Well, my husband currently works for Frederick Community Action Agency, so we both have a passion with supporting and helping those who need help, like at Heather Ridge, those who need help, students with issues. We're there for them. I still believe in being there, and that's why I haven't left. I've been there for 21 years.
Wow.
He's worked for the city for over 14, 2 daughters. One's into sports volleyball, but she plays the flute, that's her passion. And my other one is in gymnastics, and she loves her gymnastics, trying ballet now.
Okay. I understand that October 8th, 1985 is a day of history for you. Tell me about it.
It is. It's the day my husband followed me off the train in Philadelphia. Because I am so regimented, I used to get on the same stop every day. Because at the front of the train, you can get seats. And he walked in that day, maybe 3 weeks prior, and we just kept meeting on the B train. And one day he finally followed me off the train. I still can't get rid of him.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't like fast forward today. You might have tasered him or something like that.
No, back in this was before we had cell phones, and he gave me his number because I wouldn't give him mine. And I called his house on a cell phone, on a payphone back then.
Okay.
They still had payphones. So just to see if it was a valid number. And it happened to be.
Lynne, thank you so much for joining us today. You're a fantastic guest. And thank you for joining us as well. Stay tuned next week for the next All Stars, and don't forget, shine on.